It is your NFL show. Of course, we do this every single Sunday for years, right? We've been doing it. And, of course, we've got tons of cappers with us today. I was just telling Joe, it's my first of a half dozen shows I do with her on Sunday. It's a lot of Joe, but it's good. There are a lot worse places you can be. I'm sure you guys are all shedding a tear for me out there. Do 6 shows with Joe today. But Joe, how's it going this morning?
It is good. I'm excited for the 6 shows with you, Mitch. It's not there's no cyanide later. It's going to be a great day.
I like to call it a half dozen, it's like we'll call it what it is, it's a half dozen shows. But we do Joe and I do I don't know, what do we figure? We had a number on it. What was it? So we do 6 on Sunday. We do 4 on Monday. So that's 10. And then at least 2 a day, at least 3 a day.
3 a day.
On all the 4 a day on all the rest of the other days. It's like, oh, man. Well, it's like I said, a lot worse places, that I could be. Live in Maui and get to do shows with Joe Madden all day. I'm sure you guys are just don't worry. Stop worrying about me. Just stop worrying about me. But got NFL action today. We're already underway in London. I picked the Jaguars to not win a game all season long, and they're definitely doing their best to keep that prediction alive. They are absolutely horrid, and the Dolphins is clearly a different team with Tua in at quarterback. It's night and day, and I still have hopes for this guy. I know that a lot of people are down on him, but we saw him take really big strides in the preseason. And of course, this year he's been injured, so it's been tough to tell exactly what he did. But when he has been in there, he hasn't been bad. The guy can make all the throws. He's a lot more mobile than people give him credit for. We've seen that already in this game. And the Dolphins missing 2 of their top wide receivers in here, but no problemo as everybody else kind of picking up the slack here. So. I don't love these London games. They start at 3:30 in the morning for me. I know that all of Hawaii is up, and quite frankly, I'm up anyway. So all of Hawaii is up because Tua is playing, and if Tua is in, they're all playing. So pretty exciting stuff for us here. It's a weird thing, Hawaiian sports. Whenever there's a player that was born in Hawaii that plays in a professional game, they basically preempt all programming to show their at-bats. Like if Marcus Mariota has completed 6 consecutive passes, it's like, seriously, comes across the bottom of the TV set. It's that big. It's almost like a surfing contest.
Wow.
It's almost as big.
I love that.
Yep. Like they'll show like of a Major League Baseball game, like the Major League Baseball playoffs for the night will be Colton Wong at-bats. That's it.
Really?
Yeah, that's the only Major League Baseball coverage they'll show is like Colton Wong at bats. It's
that's
crazy.
Really cool.
Yeah, they're really they love the locals here, and that's the way that it is. But of course, we love our guests that we have every week here on the show, and we have a good roster today. I'm looking in the. I don't know. Tony T calls it the green room, so I don't want to steal his name. I'm looking in the green. I'm looking in the green room, and I see Rod, Jovan. I see Al Ninos in there. I see Joe and Dionne. See Chris Ruffolo. I see Ron Romanelli, and Bitler.
And we know Big Al McMordie is going to slide into that green room anytime now.
Yeah, he just shows up.
45 minutes.
But you guys can let's see what we got. So
we've got a great lineup. It's going to be a lot of fun today.
Yeah, James Clark couldn't.
It always is.
James Clark couldn't make it today, but like I said, we got plenty of people that can. So we're excited for it. How about yesterday's college football action? It was an interesting day. I started off the day gangbusters, and I really ended the night just horribly. I just could not get anything going. I had Liberty 32-point favorites. They lost outright in that game against Louisiana Monroe. I
couldn't believe what I saw in that game.
Well,
I was blown away.
They had opportunity after opportunity after opportunity to score touchdowns. They walked with nothing every single time, and then then they started the turnover thing. You know, when you start turning the ball over in your own end, you can't win at that level, and it's going to happen. Thankfully, it only counts as one loss. It's not like I played them on the money line or something. So I'm sure there are some people out there that did. But
Arizona State sure felt like a double loss last night, going to bed, seeing them up and then waking up to a loss. I could not believe that.
No, it's like, so let's bring in Joe and Dionne. So, you know, it was just one of those days. It was like, so the Sharps got pummeled out of the gate. Indiana was like the sharp play of the day, right? Because they were so much smarter than everybody. And they just they were lucky to be in that game, right? I mean, it was all Michigan State from start. It was a physical beatdown, right? But it was like they just kept hanging around. And Michigan State was just basically keeping them in the game. And then there was like, you know, these bad pass interference they did down by the goal line. There was no way that was going to be a complete pass. They extended the drive. They ended up getting a touchdown on that one. But and then the Sharps, they kind of got even with Purdue later on in the day, you know, on that one. So it was kind of one of those days. But I'm not a big believer in the sharp money moves or any of that stuff. I think, you know, what we see transpiring on the field, I'm sure the Sharps love the Jaguars here. They're getting crushed. Right? I mean, they're just getting destroyed. This is going to be a fun halftime because I already have a very big bet on the Dolphins, and I extended the line out. So I'm going to really make a lot of money here during this show, which is always fun. But Joe and Dionne, welcome to the show. As always, thank you. I know you had some dog issues. We're glad that it all worked out for PickDawgz. And would he eat a marble or something?
No, we're just like you and Joe and a lot of the other people on the panel. Maybe that's how we all got together. It's because we're all dog lovers. One of our dogs had a little issue the other night. With Dionne and I were working. She's in the office next to me. PickDawgz, which all our dogs are named after gambling. We got PickDawgz, Dice, Teaser, and Keno. PickDawgz, I got up to go get a drink of water, and this is at 8:30 at night. And PickDawgz got up, and she was a little lame on one of her paws. I just thought that maybe she was tired or whatnot, but we ran right over to the all-night emergency vet, and because it was a non-critical injury, and they had critical injuries, quite a few of them. They said, well, it's going to be a 6 or 7 hour wait. Normally, I'd either talk my way or buy my way in, but I didn't want to squeeze out another dog that needed immediate help. We waited. We went home. We gave her a CBD doggy gummy. Woke up yesterday morning. She was still a little lame. We did the show. Thank you for having us yesterday, too, by the way. We did the show, went over to the vet. Nothing serious at all. Probably just a sprain. There's not even arthritis, nothing. So they gave us a little bit of medicine, said, give it a little time, let it rest up. It should be fine. But we were a little worried. And this morning, she's still hobbling around a bit, but she's definitely moving around. So thank you for your concern. I appreciate that. I know. And even Joe Madden hit us up, Dionne and I, up quite a few times yesterday. Thank you, Joe. We appreciate that.
You're welcome, for sure. We all love our dogs, that's for sure.
So, Mitch, I will tell you, if it's all right, we were on the Strip last night. We went to go see Tosh at the Mirage. And I've got to tell you, I don't know if anybody out there, I don't know what's going on TV or in the news or about the pandemic or this or that or COVID. I don't want to get into it, but you would never know it by seeing the Strip last night. It looked like it was like a parade. Just, there had to be 100,000 people just in Vegas last night, just for the weekend, and it was great. In front of the Mirage, packed, crowded inside the Mirage.
You couldn't even walk.
Couldn't walk.
You were like shoulder to shoulder in the casino.
It was amazing, shoulder to shoulder, and it was nice to see, and everybody was having a good time. We had a few laughs with Tosh. Very inappropriate behavior. I was talking with my bash brother Brian Bitler before the show because he and I are big fans of inappropriate behavior. And he would have loved this show, so. Now, next time Brian comes out, if Tosh is in town, I got to get him tickets because we could laugh our butts off. But it was a nice night. Got home, we got out of the because it was a late show. We got out maybe 12:30, 12:45, and the Strip, Mitch. It was like it was 2:00 in the afternoon. You just couldn't, and it was great. It's just great to see that everybody having fun, everybody having a drink in their hand, taking their selfies. just where Vegas really where it should be. And I know you're overdue for a trip here, so I just wanted to. I keep revving it up to try to get you to come out here, jump on a plane, and come join us, Mitch. That's why I keep revving it up.
Well, here's a picture of my dog yesterday. He was pretty stressed out. You could see. I said this. You could see. Just really, he just has a very, very tough life. So everyone knows that my Sam is. I don't know. He's not. It's like a lot of people are like, my dog's really smart and all that other stuff. And Sam's kind of maybe community college safety school, It's like, but he's definitely a really sweet dog, and we definitely.
Oh, I love it. He's so cute.
We definitely love him, and he loves the beach. So I mean, that's just a bonus. But what do you got for us today?
Dionne, would you like to go first today?
Sure.
Okay.
So I have one free play for you today. So the Arizona Cardinals, the only undefeated team in the NFL, won both games this season in which they were road underdogs. They entered this matchup in the same situation. The Cleveland offense owns the top-ranked rushing unit in football, but their top running back, Nick Chubb, is ruled out this week. They are effective because they have two ball carriers in the backfield. Without both, they just aren't the same. Baker Mayfield will be on the run all game against one of the league's best pass defenses. The Browns defense sprung a leak last week, allowing the Chargers to post 47 points. The Cardinals have an awesome passing attack and will take a page from the Chargers playbook and exploit the Browns' weaknesses here. I also have some against the spread stats for you today. So Arizona is 4-1 the last 5 games played on the road, 7-3-1 the last 11 games played as an underdog, and 4-1 the last 5 games played overall. So I'm going to take the Cardinals here.
Joe, how about you?
Oh, yeah, Mitch, I know.
Oh, you guys. Oh, let's go. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, you good?
Yes. Go ahead.
This is one, I know we're on the Browns for our circa picks. We've been going back and forth with this one, and I'm still on the Browns in this one minus the points. I really do think we just look at the situation for Arizona. They've come out so strong. They've won so many games. I think this is one where they let down in this situation. I'm liking the over more out of anything. I think both these teams are going to be able to put up the points. I really do think the Browns, off that tough loss, are going to come rebounding back in this game and have a big one in this one. So give me the over stronger than anything, but I think I like Browns minus the points over Cardinals. Sorry, Dionne.
I think I'm a little concerned about the Cardinals coaching situation here with all the coaches out with COVID, including head coach Cliff Kingsbury. It's a tough spot to go to Cleveland anyway. It's not, on the road. And, you're kind of getting opposite ends of the story here with these two quarterbacks. Mm-hmm. Baker Mayfield, it's like, the story, can the Browns win with Baker Mayfield? It's freaking week 6, right? Mm-hmm. It's like, I mean, how many times have we seen a team get hot in week 11 and win the Super Bowl? Right?
Yeah,
I mean, right. Aaron Rodgers, right, did it with the Steelers. We see it time and time. The Ravens have done it a few times. We see it time and time again. So I think it's a little early to start giving out MVP awards. And, if Kyler Murray can win here, he's going to be the MVP. In week 6, they're giving out MVP awards. Who knows if he's even going to be playing in week 8, right, the way the NFL goes these days. Mm-hmm. I think it's going to be a tough game. I lean to the Browns because of the coaching situation. I think it's always tough when your head coach is on the side, not on the sidelines.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
It's not one of my premium picks, that's for sure.
Yeah, it didn't make my premium picks either. It was right there, but I felt 2 other plays on the board that I felt more strongly about, so I put those out and kind of kept this one as a free play for us today.
NFL is always tough. Joe, what do you got for us?
One big free game winner, Mitch, Joe. Sports fans, I don't think there's any possible way Mac Jones and the very pedestrian New England offense can keep pace with Dak Prescott and the Dallas offense. The Patriots are counting for just 19.2 points per game, guys. They got a win last week against Houston, but I don't want to get into the debate. Some might argue there was some very, very, very questionable calls that went their way. I'm not going to get into that today, but maybe they got a little lucky to eke out that win. Prescott, over the last 3 outings, guys, 10 TDs, one YNT, one YNT, one INT. Those Hooked on Phonics books didn't come in the mail yet. One INT, Mitch. One INT. And I want to tell you why he's really excelling the last 3 games. It's not because of their opponents. It's because of their backfield right now. Elliott and Pollard have teamed up to be quite a tandem of ball carriers. They keep defensive honest. They allow him to open up the passing game. Granted, I'm not going to also argue that the Cowboys' D is not a work in progress. But when your offense is dominating the clock, controlling the tempo, it makes it very tough for opposing offenses to get into a rhythm. And I'm going to be honest with you. Right now, the New England Patriots have no musical ability. They're not getting into a rhythm anyway. And having to rush their offensive possessions, I think is going to make it even tougher than them. Then right now, I'll be honest, if you look at Dallas's upcoming schedule, their schedule is going to get significantly tougher. They really need all the wins they can get right now. I think they get another win and cover. I'm excited about this game. It almost made it as a premium play this week. The only reason why it differed was because it was floating at about 3.5. And I always want to err on the side of caution for anybody that buys my picks or follows me. If this was out of 3, I would have probably definitely played the Cowboys. But at 3.5, I think it almost made a premium play. But I still think they get a winning cover here, guys.
Joe, what are you thinking?
I hate this game, honestly. We have, I really do. Prescott has been outstanding this year. You guys know tomorrow is like his 1-year anniversary of that terrible injury last year. I cannot believe how he has come back. He's just come back phenomenal. He's been lights out. This Cowboys team has been surprising everyone. In the back of my head, I still remember the Cowboys team last year that let me down after situation after situation after situation. But then we have a Patriots team that's doing the same thing this season in games that they should be winning. They are not winning it. If I'm going to bet this one, I'm going to hit this under. I think we see a lower scoring battles. Both these defenses step up today.
I'm with Joe. I love the under in this one. Matter of fact, I have it as part of my PickDawgz parlay, which we hit yesterday, right, with the double Colorado, with the double Colorados. But I think that what we're going to see here is the Cowboys have a pass defense deficiency. They're 32nd ranked in the NFL against the pass, and you have Mac Jones, who refuses to throw the ball more than 6 or 7 yards. He's the king of the check down, right? Typical Alabama quarterback here. And what's happening is that what we're seeing is like 25 of 31 completions, right, for a guy like Mac Jones, but the ball doesn't go anywhere, right? So what you're going to see is a lot of probably some, three down first downs, type things for the Patriots when they get first downs. And I think it is going to be not a lot of possessions in this game for either team. For the Cowboys, I expect them to pound the rock. Ezekiel Elliott, normally when these running backs lose weight like that, normally they lose a little something as the season goes on. But Elliott actually looks stronger than he has looked too. I don't know what he's done, but, who the hell knows, right, with these guys. But he's the Cowboys second in the NFL in rushing the football. The Patriots, they don't run the football as effectively. They have injuries in the backfield, and they didn't have much to begin with. So I think that this game's going to go under. I just don't think we see a lot of possessions here in this game. The Patriots, Bill Belichick defense, number 4 against the pass, 15 against the run. It's kind of going to be, we're going to see Dak Prescott make mistakes that we haven't seen him make. We know that because it's up against Belichick's going to disguise something, right? It happens. It's probably going to be a little bit of an ugly one. So I like the under.
There you go. It's going to be a fun game. There's like some great games on the board. I'm like you, though, Mitch. I'm not a big fan of these London games that start early. But then again, if I wake up to get a drink of water in the middle of the night here, it's nice to have live NFL football on TV. It's nice to get a taste of that. But there's some gold in them dark hills today. I think the lines are getting a little tighter in the NFL, obviously, and I agree with you too, Mitch. It's way too early for them to start handing out MVP trophies. You mentioned that earlier on Dionne's play. But what's funny is you'll read something in the newspaper today. Oh, so and so's MVP candidate next, and like tomorrow. You'll read, oh, he stinks, or
oh yeah.
So you really can't go by the headlines either. But yeah, you're right. I think it's a little too early.
In college, Spencer Rattler was the preseason Heisman favorite. He's not even starting anymore. And that's 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 exactly how sports work. It's what have you done for me lately, and I think that's what we're going to see here. And I got to say that what's worse than watching NFL football at 3:30 in the morning is having to watch Trevor Lawrence play professional football at all. I mean, this guy if throwing the ball into the ground is what is the goal of the game, then he's great at it. But it's like outside of that, he just looks like a deer in the headlights out there. He's got his best days are ahead of him, but I don't think Urban Meyer is the guy to take him to the next level.
Oh, absolutely not.
I don't see. Maybe he's the guy to take him to the strip club. Joe, what do you got for sale today?
Well, I'm proud. We were on the show yesterday. I had 2 games of the month that both came in so far. This pro and college football season, 17-5 on big game releases. 3 big games today. Mitch, Joe, I'm very excited. My first NFL 10 Dimes play. Only released maybe 2 to 3 of these this season. The last 4 seasons, 11-0. I have my Vegas Insider move, 23-6-1, and my 4-1 this year. My high roller play. I'm so sure I'm going to make anybody that follows me money today, Mitch. I put them up on PickDawgz, a 3-game discounted package. Because I want to get everybody out there. 3 big winners today. Go over to PickDawgz. I'm very happy about that. Dionne had a good day again yesterday. She's still pissing me off with this college football. She's still kicking my butt. She's still a few games ahead of me. It's funny. It's literally like you got. You got a 17-time perennial all-star. He's got 5 World Series rings. He's got a couple batting titles. And then a rookie comes up and he's kicking his ass in the batting order. And all of a sudden, I was batting number 4. Now they moved me to number 5, and she's a number 4 spot. It's really bothering me. She had another good day yesterday, a couple of big game winners.
That's because I try and keep my numbers higher than you, so I don't have to do laundry, and you do.
She keeps messing me with this laundry. If she's still I got to do laundry every week because she's beating me in college football.
Wow. That's a great deal.
It is.
Kill it, Dionne. Yeah, I hate laundry.
I'm telling you, next week it's going to be he has to clean the whole house.
Joe Madden, about 60% in college football herself over here. But, Dionne, what do you have for sale today?
Well, I have only 2 games for everyone out there, but they are both very big games for everyone. I have my touchdown play, which is undefeated this season, and I also have my very first Lady Luck play. You can get them both right here at PickDawgz and finish off your week right.
I'm proud to say we are the only sports handicapping site with two women in our leaderboards for college football. I think we're the only sports handicapping site with 2 women. And others are welcome to come as well. So everyone is welcome, in our community, and that's the way that we like it. And we appreciate you guys coming by as always. And we will see you next Saturday.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it, Mitch.
I look
Joe,
forward to it.
Thank you for having us. We love doing this morning show. It's great. The only thing I'm not looking forward to now, Mitch, we started with a trainer yesterday that you literally. It's a good thing I have to shut the camera off because I'm gonna get up like a 90-year-old guy on Miami Beach just trying to get up. My butt is so kicked. The both of us on trainer. As soon as we get off the air, we got to go do a little bit of cardio, have some breakfast. It's going to be an easy day watching football, staying with the dogs, and sitting out back by the pool a little bit because I need to recoup. Mitch, I got to tell you, I look like I'm in good shape, but I'm going to tell you, I'm like one of them guys that like literally, I look like I'm in good shape, but as soon as you take the pads off, boom, everything falls out. I'm going to say yesterday, she kicked our butts. She kicked our butts, but I'm looking forward to starting to get in shape. And then literally when I take the pads off, and it still looks like I got the pads on, but I want to thank you for having us. I love this show. This is my favorite show. And normally mornings are tough for me because I get up so early. But you've motivated me because you're up even before me, and it's 3 hours earlier than Pacific Standard Time you are in. So thanks for having us, everybody out there. Good luck. Have a winning day. Thank you. God bless.
Thanks for stopping by. That was Joe and Dionne D'Amico. Of course, they are kind of our kickoff, every week on our show, and certainly bring the energy and the fun. So I appreciate them coming on every single week. Saturdays
Absolutely.
And Sundays. But we have a good card. There's still 11 games left on the card today, and we're starting to see the bad officiating. Early here, they're thinking that people might be sleeping through it, but just a missed pass interference call on a pass out there to Zawacky, and then of course flags being thrown for everything else. So
I'm glad I don't have the game on then. I'm so sick of refs. I don't want to.
Yeah, it's like I'm just so sick of these guys. Yeah. It's like. I wish they could get it right, I just wish, but they don't seem to be able to do it right.
Absolutely. And it's like ever since Joey Bosa's comment, they've just got worse.
Yeah, well, they've been getting worse for years, and it's, the thing I've always said about the NFL officiating is the worst calls are not reviewable, and that is part of the problem. That there's no accountability here, and it just seems that you let these guys run rampant, and it becomes like this ego thing, like you said, like Joey Bosa makes a comment, so now they have to prove a point, that, you think it was bad before, well, it's bad, now it's really bad. So
I wonder if they go to sleep with their little yellow flags.
Yeah, they probably do. But I know another guy that is probably in a place where it's probably a pretty rough morning, and that's Ron Romanelli from Gainesville, where the Gators just laid down like dogs again against LSU. And Dan Mullen, welcome to the world of 6-6. I know people say, "Oh, you're just a Gator hater." Yes, I am. Right? I was born that way. Like I always say, one of my favorite games I was ever at, one of my top 10, was when Miami was up 28-3 against Florida, called timeout with 4 seconds left to go in the game and kicked a field goal to make it 31. One of my very favorite games of all time. But, Dan Mullen, it's not like, and there it is, the Dolphins in the end zone on a defensive touchdown. Thank you, Trevor Lawrence. You are a star. Oh, wait, no, they don't. It's just an incomplete pass. That's all right, though. But let's just say if he was throwing it to, let's just say if he was throwing it to 91 of the Dolphins, it was a beautiful throw.
Oh, good for him. Maybe he forgot what team he was on for a second there.
Yeah, he is. Urban Meyer has no idea what he's doing out there. And I could see him going back to the college level after this season.
Absolutely. He's not an NFL coach. He's a college coach.
Yep. I think USC or Florida, are the places. Yeah. So Ron, they're into Morning, first of all.
Hey.
So they're into Mullen they just signed him to an extension, right?
Yeah, so the last offseason, yep.
Yeah, and how much are they into him for now?
I think I remembered 2027. That's what I thought, but I have to check again. But it's a pretty decent extension, yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of money. He probably makes about in the $5 million range, is my guess. And so he's out to 27. So you got to figure this is like a $40 million
mistake.
Yeah, they can't eat that. And he's a 6-6 coach. I mean, we know that, right? I mean, I say it, and everyone's like, whatever. You don't know what you're talking about. You just hate the Gators. No, but this is his resume. Shows years and years of 6-6 records. He had Dak Prescott. He went 6-6. He's had, when he's won is when he was an assistant coach under really good college coaches with basically all-star teams.
Yeah. I mean, it's an ugly performance yesterday.
That was about as pathetic. I haven't seen a Gator performance that bad, since the LSU game last year in Gainesville. Like,
or the Kentucky game a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. I mean, this is so, for those of you that aren't as familiar with college football and don't really understand, the landscape of Florida football, especially, is that the way that the University of Florida works for football is they have one goal every season, and that is to win the SEC. And if they don't win the SEC, they do not care about covering against Alabama. They do not care about any of that stuff. They have a goal. It's not to cover against Alabama. They're supposed to beat Alabama. And their second goal is to beat Georgia. They're not going to accomplish either of those things this season.
Oh, no. Definitely not the latter, but both of them, yeah. But this is just not a good Florida team. It's not a good coach team. I mean, I could expect many of these members of the coaching staff going to be gone in the off season. I'm glad I turned the game off before it really. I mean, a ton of my friends went to Baton Rouge for the game, and they're coming home. They tried to enjoy their night in New Orleans as best they could, but man, just an ugly performance, and it caps off what's going to be a really ugly season. Hopefully, we can make it to the Duke's Mayo Bowl in the end, but I mean, geez, just another disappointment after disappointment, and Georgia's going to have our head on a silver platter.
Yeah, it's the only thing that, as a Canes fan, kind of made me feel good about us getting intercepted as we were ready to win the game against North Carolina yesterday. I mean, we covered, but it's like another one of those things. That's not really not what we're after. But we've got NFL football today, and you've got, an ex-Florida coach here really making a mockery of the professional game here in Jacksonville. I'm really not sure what the game plan is even here. If it's to get your quarterback to throw it at the other team's defensive lineman or into the ground, well, then they've nailed it today. But outside of that, Jags have looked absolutely pathetic. What do you got for us today?
Yeah, the game I'm looking at today is a total in this Cardinals-Browns game. The Browns, as mentioned a couple times by me on these shows, I think they have the number one offensive line in football. It's a little banged up heading into this game, but I still think that the Browns are going to be able to run the football like they have all season long. And I know Nick Chubb is out for this game, but Kareem Hunt is an elite running back, in my opinion. Anyway, they had two stellar running backs, so I expect Kareem Hunt to be able to take on the workload. I also think Felton's going to be able to take on some passing down workload as running back too. This is not a good Cardinals rush defense. They've given up 5.4 yards per carry to running backs this season. Other than that Week 1 game against the Titans, Cardinals have gotten beaten pretty badly on the ground. And no Cliff Kingsbury, like we mentioned before. A couple of the quarterbacks coach is going to be out for this one. Center Rodney Hudson's out as well. So I do think that Cardinals offense, no play calling from Cliff Kingsbury, the quarterbacks coach gone. Offensive lines already struggled, and now they're out their center. I think you're going to see the Cardinals struggle to score. And as we mentioned also, Baker Mayfield, he struggled this season. The Browns have not really been able to do much in the passing game. Only 4 passing touchdowns for Baker Mayfield this season, 9 rushing touchdowns from Chubb and Hunt combined. So we know the Browns love to run the football, love to chew the clock out and use methodical drives. I know the Browns defense was terrible last week, but it's not as bad as what we saw against the Chargers. I expect a much better performance from the Browns defense today. And the Cardinals defense, has some missing pieces. Chandler Jones is out for this one with COVID, but this is still a strong Cardinals defense. I do expect them to get some pressure on Baker Mayfield, make his day pretty tough. And I think points are going to be overall hard to come by. And we have a pretty steep total here at 48.5, I believe. I think it opened up at 51, but it's gone down ever since. So I do think we have some under still, even with the line going down on the under. So that's where I'm headed, is on the under.
Joe, what are you thinking about this one? This is the second time we've talked about this game and as many guests.
Yeah, I have to ride the over in this one. I think there's too many defensive players on the injury list for both these teams. We're also looking at these two when they match up. 4 of the last 6 have hit that over. I think this total is too low. I'm seeing it being a lot higher in scoring with both these offenses being able to put the points on the board today.
Yeah, this is a tough one because Kingsbury is kind of the the straw that stirs the drink there for the Cardinals offense, and the Browns, a lot of pressure on Baker Mayfield right now, and Jarvis Landry back in there, he is a difference maker type guy. He's kind of that security blanket receiver that makes just about any quarterback look better than they actually are. We saw him with Tannehill in Miami. And, well, I guess he couldn't save him there. But, outside of that, it's, I don't know. This is one of those ones where it's like we're seeing 48.5. I'm seeing 47.5 at FanDuel, 48 and some of the offshores, 48.5 DraftKings. This thing is kind of all over the place in that range. And usually, well, if you play your cards right, you might be able to catch a middle here. 54% in this sample that we don't know where these numbers come from. But 54% on the over of the bets, 27% of the money, 73% of the money on the under in this game. I don't know. I usually think these samples are way wrong because they won't even say where they come from. What they don't, and it's kind of like what I said, yesterday to Big Al is like, when you look at these samples, it's like, because of the availability of the books these days, it's like where does the local who's laying off his action to the to think, where does that factor in when you look at this, because you don't really even know where that is. And I think this could be one of those games with a 6-point move, that you're seeing that sort of stuff happening. So
absolutely.
A lot of
but we saw how many points like the Browns gave up against the Chargers. It was 47 points they gave up against the Chargers, and the Cardinals have seen now the holes in the Browns defense.
I think Urban Meyer's really yelling at himself on the sideline now.
He should be yelling at himself.
It's like,
Well,
it's kind of like, if you ever I had like the big sister, stop hitting yourself. It's like when I was really young, it's like.
Can you make that into a meme, please?
Oh, God.
But what I would say about the Browns pass rush is, it did struggle last week against the Chargers, but I think the Cardinals' offensive line is in a bad spot. And Myles Garrett and Jadeveon Clowney, they are a little questionable for this game, but I do expect them to play. And I think that they're going to be able to get to Kyler Murray and stop the run basically all day. Cardinals really haven't had a strong run game this season, so that's why I think you'll see some sacks, some tackle for losses, and those go a long way in catching the under.
Joe's got that Canadian-Australian thing going. That's why she speaks.
Oh, yeah. That's Australian, for sure.
It's okay. We like it. 6 shows today. 6. Half dozen.
Poor Mitch. See him for game 4.
We'll be here for halftime of all of the action today. Of course, the early halftime show open to the public. The afternoon halftime show, only 3 games today. That's just for premium VIP. And then the Sunday night football, we'll be here for halftime as well. Steelers, Seahawks, I don't know why they're put the Chargers, Ravens there. Just switch it out now. Just
absolutely. Why haven't they?
Surprise! It's actually the Chargers Ravens game. It's like the one that everyone cares about. I wish they would do that.
Yeah.
Would you even rather see Packers Bears there? Anything but that. It's like,
absolutely. I actually thought it was a Bills game tonight, and then I was like, "That's not the game tonight." I was so disappointed to realize it was the Steelers.
Do you think it's because it's up against the baseball game? Do you think that's why they did it, or do you think that they thought like Russell Wilson was going to play and the Seahawks were going to be good because later in the season they can switch out, but the first I think 8 games or 9 games they can't switch out. So this was the set game. Meanwhile, Monday Night Football gets the Bills and Titans, which should be a beauty.
Yeah.
Yeah, great day of football ahead of us. I do think that Sunday night football game's going to actually be entertaining. Geno Smith making his first start in like 4 years. He looked pretty good against the Rams when he came in for Russell Wilson. But we'll have to see. I think Steelers are probably going to get a lot of pressure on him and force his hand pretty early.
Well, it's one thing when a guy comes off the bench and the team hasn't game planned or planned for him. It's another thing when you know who the quarterback is going to be and you operate your game plan around this guy's tendencies. Geno Smith is really not the same quarterback as Russell Wilson. So when you're playing for a guy that's supposed to be sweeping around the pocket and you kind of have guys that are closer to the line, it kind of leaves those downfield passes open, right? So, and that's really the way so Geno Smith was able to exploit that, of course, when we needed him the most, which was at the end of the game, and he threw the interception. But, but outside of that, I mean, it was, it's basically like you're preparing for Tom Brady and you get Murray, it's like, or the opposite way. You're preparing for Kyler Murray, you get Tom Brady, right? It's like you can't really do it. And, that's why that's why the two-headed quarterback works. Right? It's like, we've seen the two-headed quarterback. It doesn't always work, but we've seen it work before, where teams have 2 different quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Anyways, Ron, what are you selling today?
Yeah, today I got my NFL Super Sunday Trio, my top 3 plays in the NFL against the spread. Really liking these plays. One of them in the 1 o'clock slot and then 2 of them in the 4 o'clock games. So check it out at PickDawgz Premium. Looking for a 3-0 sweep and a nice winning NFL Sunday last week. And looking to bounce back from a rough Saturday yesterday. Definitely not our day yesterday's, but looking to win it today.
All right. Well, thank you.
And I'll be watching the game at Grandma's with Sunday dinner. Some meatballs and pasta. Can't wait.
What time?
How was the concert last week?
Oh, it was great. It felt so quick. It was really, honestly, a quick show, but tons of people, sold out crowd, just a great environment. I'm not the biggest Harry Styles fan, but I thought he put on a good show.
Yes, you are.
My girlfriend loved it.
It's okay. Yes, you are.
I think he's actually pretty talented. Not a big fan of One Direction, but I like his solo work.
Oh, you're a huge fan of 1D.
I got my poster hanging up. You can't see it, but
I love it. Well, you've earned watching football all day, so enjoy it.
Yeah, I did. Last week I couldn't watch a single game, so I'm sitting on the couch and not moving.
Good for you. Enjoy and best of luck in your bets today, Ron.
Thank you. Good luck, everybody.
All right, that was Ron Romanelli here with. I always like talking Gator football with them. I think that even though Ron's not originally from Florida, I think football fans in the state of Florida really know their football. It's like most of them, if you've lived there most of your life or have been there a long time, that was all we ever had. We never had baseball teams or hockey teams or any of that stuff or basketball teams. We only had football for the longest time. So you kind of get a different perspective on it all as it goes. But we've got a lot more guests with us today. And next we're going to bring in Al Ninos, who definitely is more, looks at a lot of different sports as well. He kind of covers whatever is going on out there. And, we have different types of handicappers. And Al, I think generally a little favorite heavy for me, but that's his own. It works for him. I like the dogs. But Al, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Mitch. Yeah, we're I know a little maybe a little heavy favorite, but looking don't want to give too much away, but we'll get to our picks in a second here.
But I'm just talking like you're a Yankees Dodgers guy, and it's like it doesn't get any more public favorite than that. It's like that's pretty much the two.
I did lay off the Yankees quite a bit this season. They had a pretty rough patch there. Did take a couple losses before learning my lesson. Yeah, but I stayed off them for a while. Yeah, the Yankees just rough season. They did try to put a little run together at the end, but it was a little too late. Dodgers fan, and I love my Lakers. I like my Raiders. It's easier for me to take a certain amount of points against my teams that I root for than especially Dodgers. Last couple of years have been really good actually, so a lot of wins coming in their way. And a run and a half usually isn't enough for me to go against the Dodgers, especially if you end up laying juice with that run and a half. Doesn't do much for me.
Well, what do you got for us today?
First game we'll be looking at is the Texans at the Colts. So big dog here. Texans coming into Indianapolis after losing 25-22 to the Patriots. Obviously not a very good team, probably one of the worst teams in the league. Just 1-4 straight up, but they are 3-2 against the spread. So that's really what we look at most of the time here. Colts also 3-2 against the spread, but I don't see them covering as double-digit favorites too often this season. Their only win, they are 1-4 straight up too. Their only win did come by 10 points. There's still a lot of points to be given up in the NFL, and I do see a lot of 10.5s and some 11s popping up here for Houston. So they also have, Houston also has one of the worst defenses in the league. Not a very good offense at all, but it's not like the Colts have an elite defense either. They've given up 25 points in all their games, so I expect Houston to get enough points on the board here in what's expected to be a low-scoring game to cover these 10.5 and 11 points, and maybe wait closer to kickoff and get a better number with some money still coming in on the Colts as huge favorites here.
Joe, what are you thinking?
I can't do it. I can't take the Texans to cover the spread. When we look at them against the Colts, they suck at covering the spread. They're 1-5 against the spread in their last 6 versus this Colts team. We look at Wentz. Mitch, I know you don't like Wentz, but
why do we have to look at Wentz?
Well, because in the last 2 games, he's had a 71% completion rate.
I'm not looking at Wentz.
Well, we have to, and except his O-line has really let him down. He's got sacked over and over again because his offensive line has let him down. This is a Colts team that needs to come out. They need to get a dominating win in this. I need the Texans to be the worst team in the NFL. I'm on the Colts minus the points in this one.
The worst team in the NFL is playing in Tottenham right now.
I know.
They say one of the worst. I didn't say the worst.
Oh, no, I need the Texans to be the worst.
Joe has a future bet for the Texans to be the worst. But anyways, I think that, the Colts get Hilton back today. And, what is Trevor Lawrence even doing? You run backwards 15 yards, like really with your back to the defense, and then throw it over your shoulder out of bounds. What kind of play is that? Who drew that one up? But anyways.
He might as well have sat down.
Yeah, this guy is just, he just looks lost out there. Flores has really drawn up a fantastic defense. He's disguising the blitzes really well. Lawrence just cannot see them coming. But, I think that, getting T.Y. Hilton back for the Colts is a big thing for all of us because now Wentz has no excuses, right? So it's like, Joe apologized for him all day and, try and paint him to be better than he is, but he stinks. Carson Wentz sucks. And I just can't put one penny of my money anywhere near him. And I just think taking the other side is just, it's either take the Texans money line or don't bet the game. Because, the best thing for us all is to not bet the game. Because this way we don't have to watch this guy.
Yeah.
That's pretty much where I sit.
Yeah, it didn't make any of my premium plays, but if I'm going to take it, it's definitely not the Texans.
The thing is, he's like Trevor Lawrence, but he's several years into the league. He does the exact same things. It's like...
He does, but the last 2 weeks, he has hit a 71% completion rate. He has.
Yeah, because they don't let him throw the ball anymore.
Yeah, that is very true.
It's like, because they've been handing the ball off.
Yeah, Houston has struggled offensively this season.
Oh, yeah.
I can't get behind them.
I'll tell you what, I've struggled. I've struggled when I've had to watch Carson Wentz play football at the professional level. It's not easy for me.
I do expect them to run the ball again a lot today. The Houston's defense has been worse against the run than the pass. So again, I'm hoping they expect that too and try to get a couple third downs and force some bad plays out of Carson Wentz on third down.
At how many punts does a punter start to get fatigued? Because I think we're starting to see that from Jacksonville here. Anyways, Al, what else do you got for us today?
Well, we're looking at one more game here. As you said, this game not a premium, but definitely like the points there. This next game we're looking at was a lot closer to making a premium place. I even think I had the little write-up ready to go, just did not hit enter on the premium plays with this one. So it's the Raiders in Denver here after a very ugly 20-9 loss to the Bears. Obviously, they were dealing with a lot of locker room drama, which affected their game in that one. But I do still think they're the better team in this matchup here, and they should bounce back. They were looking real good at the start of the season, and I don't think they want to let this little incident define their season. Obviously it's a pretty big deal. I'm not trying to downplay it at all, but these are still some players that want to get out there and play and win some ball games. So. This is another game where money's coming in on the other side, and we're getting 4.5s, 5 starting to pop out there. It was 4 earlier this morning. Again, so just wait till closer to kickoff. But if you see the numbers start coming back down, I would try to hit the Raiders here. Getting anything over a field goal looks great to me. And if you want to look at the money line too, I can't really blame you. I do think the Raiders bounce back and actually win this game. Not just talking as a fan here. I just don't think Denver's been that good. They beat up on some weaker teams, but they haven't looked good against the better teams. So I think they're in trouble here again.
Joe, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm completely with you on this one. I really do think people are overvaluing what we've seen out of Denver. Yes, they have a great defense, but I think this Raiders team makes a statement in this game. They've had a couple of rough games. There's issues with John Gruden leaving, everything like that. I think they have a really solid game this game. I'd take the Raiders plus the points.
I like the Raiders plus the points as well. I think this game is tight. I think the game is decided by less points than this spread. And now it moving up to 5.5. I like it even more. And I think that just this one is going the wrong way for the Bucs.
Completely agree. Yeah, sort of kicking myself for not putting in the premiums, but I have 5 NFL plays there already that I really like, so I decided to share this one on the show with you guys.
All right. Well, what do you got for sale today at the site? You got any baseball and Dodgers Braves action?
I do have a play on the total in that one. I don't know if I set aside, everyone would know which one I'm going with. But no, my premium play is on the total. I do think obviously the Dodgers bounce back and win this game, but how big they win it, you could check that out with my play on the total here. As have that sold separately than my 5-pack in the NFL. All right. Get a long-term pass, now's a great time for it, and you get all the plays.
Thanks for joining us. As always, we'll see you next week right here on the live show for NFL Week 7. Still got 11 weeks of regular season NFL football. And plus, hey, you doing anything for NBA this season?
Absolutely, yeah. I don't have my season pack up yet, but I definitely will. I love the NBA, obviously. And yeah, definitely looking forward to that as well. As I said, great time to hop on a long-term pass. A lot of sports going on. I'm capping them all right now, doing the NFL, NBA when that starts. MLB still not over. Got the NHL going, college football, and college basketball also starting up soon, huh?
Yeah. College basketball, November 12th, I believe. So, yeah.
Busy.
Yes, this is the time. Thanks again, Al, for joining us, and we'll see you again next week.
All right, see you. They're looking forward to that one.
That was
Best of luck today.
That was Al Ninos, and interesting takes there. Double dogs for him, and I know the Texans pick not popular, and I think sometimes that's a good place to be. Is on the not popular play, and I certainly don't mind being there myself. So. But
I'm not touching the Texans.
No, it's Carson Wentz. It's Carson Wentz.
I know it's Carson Wentz, but it's the Texans. Texans all together, right? You hear that drum roll? That's exactly right. It's the Texans.
Well, I don't know. I just can't get behind Carson Wentz. I just can't do it. It's like he's so bad. He's miserable. It's kind of like
almost as bad as Jared Goff.
I think he's worse than Goff.
Oh, they are in the same category for me.
Well, they're in the same draft. They went 1 and 2 in the same draft. It was just really horrific. But anyways, we can decide this one later. We got plenty of shows to do that today, Joe. But let's go to let's bring in Jovan from Boston. Of course, they're ready for some hoops there. They always are. Celtics, going to be a factor again this season. Tatum, have Tatum, you will have a chance, as they say. Really one of the best draft picks in recent years that I can remember. He was in that same draft as the guy from Washington, right? Fultz. It's not.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, it was like he was taken after Fultz in that draft. Ouch. That's kind of like almost like the Darko pick, right? It's up there. It's up there with it. But anyways, Jovan, welcome to the show. We got NFL football today, so you got your Patriots hat on. Probably did not like Joe D'Amico's pick there then on the Cowboys in that one.
I don't know.
If there's a will, there's a way. I think to have Belichick, you always have a chance, especially against a team that, well, I just think you got Belichick against Mike McCarthy.
Yeah,
that pretty much says everything. But go ahead.
No, the coaching disparity is pretty big there. I will say that.
Yeah, Dak Prescott having a big comeback year though, and Ezekiel Elliott, like I said, he's in the best shape that we have seen him. At all, right? I mean, this is the best that we've seen him. So we're going to learn a lot about him today, and of course, Belichick, he will have them ready to go. But what have you got for us going on today?
Yeah, I'm actually looking at this game. So he swung it to me, and let it go for a little bit, but now I'm swinging back at it. So surprisingly, I'm on the Dallas Cowboys. And the coaching disparity, it is what it is. It's Belichick, but I don't know, man. He might have lost something on his fastball. He's not getting through the plays. They don't have the personnel on offense. And, you look at the history of Dallas and the Patriots in the last 25 years. They haven't won since 1996 against New England. But I think it might be a little come-up is coming up in this one. It's just the thing about the Patriots is, Brady, when he was here, he covered up a lot of wounds that the Patriots had. He was a big Band-Aid. And with Belichick, it allowed him having Brady allowed him to, stretch other things on the roster, stretch it a little bit too thin. But because they had Brady, they was always able to win. But now since he's been gone, it's been a situation where they don't have the offense to what's the word I'm looking for? I'm just gonna say cover up the other ills that they have on the team. So, they're in the bending and don't break, but you can't do that if you're not scoring the ball. And with Dallas and the talent that they have on the team and the points that they're gonna put up, the Patriots can't keep up with that. You have Mac Jones in the last 3 games. He's had 5 interceptions. That's no good against a team in Dallas that, the second in takeaways at 12 takeaways in, early in the season. And, it's just shaping up to be. Now, I will say this, the Patriots do have a way to win. They could, Dallas, they do give up a lot of passing yards, and the Patriots, while they can, pass the ball, Mac Jones, just like you said, he dinks and dunks a little bit too much. And the plays that they call, they're meant for 10 yarders, 15 yarders. And when the pass rush is on him, he kind of gets jittery feet and just throws it up. And that's why the last 3 games, he's found himself into some trouble. So I think that, based on the talent gap between these two teams, I don't see a way for the Patriots in this one to get it done. Joe? Maybe if it was 6 points, 7 points, maybe, but not 3.5. I don't know.
Joe?
Yeah, I'm stuck on this under in this one. We look at this game, and the Dallas Cowboys defense really has stepped up. The Patriots are only scoring an average of 19.2 points per game. And when we look at these 2 teams matched up, 8 of the last 9 have hit that under for the Cowboys and the Patriots. And the Patriots as a whole, 4 of the last 5 have hit that under. So I'm loving this under in this game. The more we talk about it, the more I wish it was one of my premium plays.
Yep, and I agree with you. I love the under, but I think that, the thing that does not show up in the stat sheet that, shows up when you watch the games is that the Cowboys have gotten some of the most miserable calls go their way this season of any team. We saw it against the Giants where they did not call the pass interference in the end zone where Tony was basically two-handed pushed to the ground, basically face first, and they did not call the pass interference on that, which would have been the backdoor cover there for the Giants in that game, would have set up a backdoor cover there. Instead, the Cowboys get the ball, score the touchdown, dress up, it just gets lost in the shuffle, kind of like the pass interference in the Michigan-Nebraska game, right? But it actually did happen. And then the same thing in the Panthers-Cowboys game where the fumble that wasn't a fumble, forward progress was stopped. Forward progress was stopped because the ball was on the ground. And, that's why forward progress was stopped. But no, they gave the Cowboys the ball in that one. Once again, the worst calls in the NFL, not reviewable. And, once again, went in the Cowboys' favor. So we've seen the game in Los Angeles against the Chargers. I think they got lucky in that one too. And I think what we've seen is that Bill Belichick traditionally throughout his career sucks the luck out of teams. And he does it by disguising defenses and, against mediocre players. And I think the Cowboys have some overpaid mediocre players on that team. I do. And I think that what we're going to see, especially in that late time slot where there's only 3 games today, the NFL always finds a way to make these games super exciting and competitive. When there's only 2 or 3 games in one time slot like that, I don't know. I have a feeling Joe Madden and I are going to be on here at halftime. It's going to be one of these miserable 7-6 games or something, right? In Foxborough where, it just – and then everyone's going to be saying, how did I not think that, Belichick couldn't come up with something?
Hey, I hope you're right. My heart says Pats because I'm a Pats fan. I've been a Pats fan, since since the 80s when I was a little kid. Sat through the 1 in 15 years, going back to the Super Bowl in 96 and then finally breaking through in 2001 and, the run that we've had for the last 20 years. But just with this team, they have a defense that, yeah, it looks good on paper, their stats, their rankings in the league, but situationally, they can't get stops in key situations. That's just the team, how the team's been constructed this year, and that's how they've been playing on the field. So hopefully I'm wrong. You know what I'm saying? But, it is what it is. It's dichotomy between being a fan and, being a sports bettor. So,
but sometimes it's like, sometimes you go extreme the other way, like people can go extreme the other way. It's like, I'm a fan, so I don't want to buy into the fan thing. And it's like, Trevor Lawrence just completed a pass recently and he just got a touchdown pass. It happens. Trevor Lawrence just threw. If you have Marvin, if you have Jones Jr. To catch passes, circus catches in the corner of the end zone. Well, it's a nice thing to have when you have a quarterback as bad as, and of course the Dolphins' top 2 corners out for this game as well. But wow, that hit the ground.
Hit the ground. They're taking it back.
I don't know. It sure looked like it bounced off the turf when they showed it the second time. Nope, they're kicking the extra point. Oh well. It just lines up a better halftime bet for us. Anyways, Jovan, you got another pick for us, or just one today?
That's it. That's it for today.
All right, what do you got for sale at PickDawgz?
Yeah, so I have my Show Me the Money Sunday NFL 5-pack. 5 plays that I like. I'm gonna look at this Dodgers Atlanta game. See I have an opinion on it, but I just want to do a little bit more digging before I either pull the trigger or leave it alone. But 5 plays, $44.99. I'm looking up at Big Al right now. I'm second. He overtook me for first place. So it's trying to know y'all get it going because Big Al, he has a long history of being being a champion at this thing. So trying to just compete.
You're definitely competing and having a great season. You're not going to win every game in the NFL, that's for sure. You're not going to have a winning week every week, but it's all about the marathon that is the 18-week NFL regular season plus the playoffs. So you're fighting the good fight here for sure. So we will see you next week here on our Saturday show, right? So we'll see you Saturday tomorrow. Next week.
Absolutely.
All right.
Yes. See you Saturday.
Have a great week.
Best of luck.
It's like I'm reading comments and, it's talking at the same time. And, someone here said, Dolphins defense looks bad. They're missing their 2 highest paid players on defense. They're corners. We went through this, I think, on a show last week. We went through the highest paid cornerbacks in the NFL. Like, who are the highest paid corners and what they make. And they make quarterback money, right? These corners are making quarterback money in the NFL because you're not allowed to play pass defense anymore. So you need guys that, when they sick the entire pass rush on them, can jump up and intercept these lob passes that the quarterbacks make. And in that case, the backup for the Dolphins was unable to do it against that pathetic throw by Trevor Lawrence where he got super lucky. But it happens, and, that's the nature of the beast. But anyways, we're going to bring in Al McMordie next. Let's see what we got.
40 seconds left to halftime.
Yes. So we'll have Al on for halftime to see what he does if he does halftimes. But
absolutely.
We all know I do. So kind of our thing. But so far though, a lot of good insight, and for a small card, a lot of people landing on the same games. That's what we have so far. But let's bring in Al. Al, good morning.
Good morning.
You watching this gem from Tottenham Hotspur Stadium? You got really 2. I think 2 is a lot better than people give him credit for. You can see just how bad the Dolphins were without him, and you see them with him here. Of course, they're playing Urban Meyer's team, so
And I haven't had the chance to turn on the television yet. It's still a bit early out here for me in Los Angeles. And actually, I'd like to get back over to London to go see the new stadium. I was there probably about 15 years ago at the old stadium at White Hart Lane. So I'm curious to see what the new one looks like.
This one is crazy. I've seen some videos on YouTube of how they change it from a soccer pitch to an NFL, and it's two entirely different fields. So
yeah, no, I can imagine. Yeah, I need to get back over there.
Yeah, it costs $1 zillion, but yesterday college football seemed like a little bit of everything, something for everyone yesterday, and as Jovan said, in NFL, you're back on top of the leaderboards after a slow start to the season.
Yeah, that's pretty unimportant. I don't care if I'm number 23rd on the leaderboard, so long as I'm winning. It's not really a competition between me and other handicappers. It's a competition between us and the bookmakers. So, it's Jovan's having a great year, but it doesn't matter who's number one, really. You're just trying to beat the 52.38%. That's the goal.
I'm with you as well, and I think a lot of people in the YouTube comments often think, when I do my videos, that I'm in some sort of picking contest, but I don't really care. It's like, if you're making money fading a pick that I made, hey, go for it.
Right.
I don't care. It's like, I just want you guys to win. It's like, that's why I do this.
Yeah. The goal is to beat the bookmakers.
Absolutely.
It's not to beat a colleague, but. Yeah, so let's talk NFL. One of the things I like about these formats, Mitch, with you and Joe, is we get to talk about handicapping theory. It's not just spouting off, trends and stuff about games, but we can talk about, what it takes to be a good handicapper and when you break down these games. Because I know there's probably a lot of people out there in our audience who want to, maybe a baby Mitch Wilson who want to become a sports handicapper, and they're trying to figure out how to do what we do. So it's really worthwhile for us to discuss kind of how we arrive at our decisions. And I'm going to use the Colts game, I guess, as an illustration of something that I try to do, is just a general thing with the NFL. And one of the things you don't want to do in the NFL, generally speaking, is lay points with bad teams. And the Colts this year, they're 1-4. They've got a negative scoring margin of minus 4.0, and they're laying 10.5 points to the Houston Texans. And yes, I know Houston's a really bad team too. Their scoring margin's negative 10.4, so it's 6.4 points worse than Indianapolis's. But generally speaking, you want to take points with bad teams and you want to lay points with good teams. And there's always an exception to every rule. I know in week 2, I took Green Bay. They were blown out by New Orleans in week 1, and I took Green Bay and laid the double digits against Detroit. So there's always exceptions, but generally speaking, with bad teams, take points. And to illustrate this, we can take a look at how home teams have done over the last 42 years in the NFL when they're laying more than 3 points if they have a negative scoring margin. Those teams are 579 and 705 ATS. So that's, again, it's just a general rule. You don't want to do it. And likewise, we take a look at how teams without a winning record do. They're 112 and 153 when they're favored by 10 or more points, including 84 and 129 if they're not off a momentum building straight up and against a spread win. So those are just kind of illustrative points about why you really don't want to lay the double digits here with Indianapolis. It didn't make my PickDawgz premium plays, of course. It's not a strong play, but I'm going to take the points with Houston.
You're right. Carson Wentz does suck. Joe, what do you think?
Let's just say Carson Wentz sucks and get it over with. He does suck. Last 2 weeks, he has done better. I am looking at that 71% completion rate last 2 weeks, but you're right, Mitch. He has passed off this ball. Again, this is one that is not hitting my premium plays for me. I'd take the Colts over anything, minus the points, but I hear you, Al, what you're saying, and those stats don't lie. I just can't get behind the Texans. I can't take the Texans plus the points today.
I'm with you, Al, as well. I agree with the strategy 100% in that one. And I think in this one, we even have some better angles with T.Y. Hilton returning. There's even more love for the Colts, and we're actually even getting better value on the Texans here than we would have had he not been playing. There's just, I mean, you can even see it in all the comments. The books are doing exactly what they want you to do. And that is believe that the Texans can't stay within this, the number with this team, even though we've seen them stay within the number against better than this.
Yeah, so let's see, we'll see how it plays out. Obviously, in Indianapolis, we've talked about it a few times on this show. They were given the worst opening schedule of any team with 5 winning teams from 2020. So this is their first relative breather of the whole season, where they're going severely down in class to play the Texans after opening up with 5 teams with winning records. So this could be the exception to the rule, where you just say, hey, Indianapolis is a lot better than their 1-4 record indicates. I'm going to lay the points here. They're down in class. They're finally getting an opponent they can handle. They're going to blow them out. And I understand that mentality. It's not necessarily wrong, but I'm just saying, generally speaking, take points with bad teams, lay points with good teams.
Anyways, I'm taking the Dolphins here on the money line second half. For those people that are interested in the halftime of the Jaguars game, I got Dolphins money line second half against the Jags. It's even money on that one. And then I also like the Dolphins team total over 10.5. I think just a lot of wasted opportunities there that I think they convert for scores in this one. And we've seen the Jags also wilt in the second half of games all season long. Anyways, Joe?
Yeah, I was just quickly pulling up those team totals here for the second half. I'm with you. The Dolphins 100% on the money line. I think they come out and do this. And then I would take them on this. Well, don't even touch the spread. That doesn't make sense. Yeah, and hit them on that over. I like them over 12.5. Is it 11.5? 11.5.
So here's the question. It says, someone says, what classifies you as a handicapper, amateur handicapper, professional handicapper? Does it classify the amount of money you make or win percentage? I do it for a living. So I consider that I'm a professional handicapper, just like a professional baseball player plays for money and does that for a living. That's the difference.
Yeah, I would agree with that, Mitch. It's kind of like if, you can cook for yourself and make yourself a steak, or you can cook in a restaurant and make it for other people who pay you to, cook the food for them. That's kind of what we do, that people pay us for our research. I work, as you work the same amount of hours. We're working 18 to 20 hours a day doing our research. That's pretty much what makes us professional handicappers.
Yeah. I agree with Al on all those counts, and I think there are people out there that have the ability to be professional handicappers that are not professional handicappers. I think it's a matter of taking the leap and having the guts to do it. And I think on the other side, I think there are people that might be professional handicappers or think they're professional handicappers or say they're professional handicappers that aren't actually professional.
And I think there's also, I think a lot of the people out there watching don't quite understand how much work goes into this. I think there's a major disconnect with the amount of hours and time that goes into our work product. It's not, I think many of our customers, when they're trying to figure out who they're going to bet on, it's basically as simple as waking up and saying, I'm going to bet on the Dallas Cowboys today. They really don't have any rhyme or reason or basis for doing it. Whereas we're actually spending hours and hours going over, reading local news articles, going over the statistics. We're reading articles about Tarleton State versus Dixie State, and we're spending, 10 to 15 hours, every night doing this kind of stuff. So there's a lot of work that goes into being a professional handicapper. And that's what our clients pay us for more than anything else, is the time and the expertise and the knowledge set that we bring. And we save our clients the time that they would otherwise have to do to, do this research.
Yeah, something that happened over this past week is something that I rarely ever happens. And I took a pass on the card, and Al took a pass on this exact same card that I did. Not really an NHL guy. We do the Mitchie Puck segment in the morning, but it's more of a, comedy sketch than anything else. And at least at this point in the season, because I don't have any data, because I don't watch the games. So I need the data in the NHL. Yeah. But, it's rare that I ever take a pass. And so it's like, that means, the Jackson State versus, Prairie View A&M. It's like, I'm candy capping that the same thing I am with the Giants-Rams game today. I mean, it's exactly the same thing over and over again. And it's like, I think it's kind of like, and we talk about this on the morning show sometimes too, where it's like, yeah, I'm great at Wheel of Fortune on TV. It's always my turn, and it's same thing with Jeopardy. My misses don't count, right? And it's always, once again, I'm always the quickest with the buzzer, right? As well. So it's kind of, it's a lot easier said than done. We will be having our Become a Handicapper competition. I have it every year, and it'll be the month of December. So you guys gear up, let everybody know. It's going to be the month of December, and it's going to be college football, NFL, you'll have college basketball, NBA. last year's winner, James Clark. He's done a real nice job, and Jovan came in second, and we brought him on as well because it was close, and he did a really good job. And you can see these guys, they have gone through the ups and downs of a year of being of being a handicapper, and I think those are the guys to ask.
Yeah, actually, I'd love to talk to James and Jovan to see what they thought about their first year, and was it everything that it was cracked up to be?
Yeah, we asked him on the show, and James generally says he's like, it's not exactly what you think because there are days where you don't want to do it. It's like I think that's what he was basically saying. It's like there are days that you just you don't really love it, but you gotta do it.
I love doing it, but it's a grind. I mean, it's 365 days a year. We don't have we've got 3 days off with the baseball all-star break unless there's World Cup soccer or something going on at the time, but it's basically an everyday thing. And that's one of the most difficult things that handicappers have to manage is there are no weekends. There are no holidays.
It's we're coming into that time of year where it's like, it really is an absolute grind. And I think what people don't realize is also all the holidays, all the weekends. We work 365 days a year, and people can say, you live in Hawaii and you do all this stuff, but it's like I work 365 days a year. I work 18 hours a day.
Exactly.
I live in Hawaii. I'm pale. I haven't even been out to play golf in a month.
Yeah, you are.
And it's like, I normally play every day if I can, but that's just the way things have been going. Because on top of that, the way the modern handicapping works, it's like we have a whole nother infrastructure that ravels around all of that. So it's like becomes even more.
But let's go on to a second game here.
That's awesome. What do you got?
Let's go to a second game. Talk about the New York Giants here. They're off that 24-point loss last week. And one of the things I like to do is take teams off blowout losses. And when you get a home underdog off a loss by more than 21 points, those teams are 238 and 184 against the spread. That's 56.5%, including 148 and 107 ATS in non-division games. And that's the situation here when you've got the Giants playing the Rams. This line was higher earlier in the week. I just looked at a little while ago. It's down to 7.5. So some of the value is being sucked away, but I do like the Giants plus the 7.5 points. The other thing to consider is that going back to 2017, when the Rams hired Sean McVay to be their head coach, they've got this dichotomy. When they're overall, he's done a really good job. They're 41 and 32 with 2 pushes against the spread. But when they're off a win, they're 22-25 ATS. Otherwise, they're 19-7 and 1. But off that win, you can see that the Rams don't perform as well. And they're coming off that Thursday win, a big division win against Seattle. So this is a letdown spot historically for McVay's teams. And I think it's a really good spot to step in here and take Daniel Jones and company plus the 7.5.
Joe, what do you think?
I'm not loving the Giants today. I just think they're going to struggle. I know Daniel Jones isn't feeling the best. They say he's playing and he's going to come out. I don't love it. I think Sean McVay doesn't take his foot off the gas. I think he wants to get these blowout wins. I don't think he'll stop. They're not going to go easy on this Giants team. I can't get behind the Giants today.
Team's coming off of a Thursday night game, 51.1% against the number, so it's pretty 50-50. I mean, is what it is. But the thing is, it's like some of those teams lost the Thursday night game, and some of those teams won the Thursday night game. There's not a lot to that. It'd be more teams with a winning record coming off of a Thursday night game would be the stat I would be looking for on that one. But I just think that without Saquon Barkley there, I don't know if the Giants are the same. Tony is going to play, but he's dinged up. They also get Shepard back. I don't know. The Rams, it is Matthew Stafford. So, we're going to see some bad decisions. We're going to see some really bad decisions. But Joe Judge was a bad decision to bring in as head coach. So, I don't know. This is just really, another one of these days. It's a short card today. So, I don't know. I just think the Rams have more talent across the board. And I think Daniel Jones will be interesting to see just how healthy he is. And I think against the Rams, he's going to need this mobility especially without Barkley there, because, we haven't seen much from the Giants' backups.
Well, today, Mike, for fans of survivor pools, we hardly ever talk about the survivor pool angle, but this year there haven't been any upsets with teams laying 7 or more points. There's actually been one, the Giants against the Saints, but that's the only one the whole year. There's 21 out of the 22 games where NFL teams have been laying 7 or more points. They've won the game straight up. So it'll be interesting to see when that worm turns and if you ever get an upset, because we've got a couple of opportunities today, whether it's the Colts or the I don't know if Kansas City, if the line's at 7 now, against the football team. You've got the Rams against the Giants, but eventually we're going to, get a big upset in the NFL this season and maybe begin knocking some of those people out of those survivor pools.
Yeah, I think it's going to be the Colts that knock everybody out. I think that will be the one. I think there's actually a few. Today is a good day for that. Usually it's those under the radar. So what do you have today at PickDawgz?
Yesterday we were 4-4 in football, but 0-2 in baseball. So I apologize to all who joined us for our baseball plays yesterday, looking to bounce back on the diamond. Today we're still 14-4, last 18 in baseball, and I've got a selection in the second game between the Braves and the Dodgers. I've got 3 NFL plays today, so not the biggest card. Yesterday we had 8 plays in football. We did go 4-4, but we also cashed our featured play, our Mountain West Conference game of the year on Nevada. So today, just 3 plays in the NFL on a nice little run here in football for the season, 19-9, going back to the preseason, 23-9, my last 32. And I'm featuring today my NFL game of the month for October. We cashed our NFL game of the month for September with the Ravens against the Chiefs. So don't miss October's number 1 play. It's up at PickDawgz Premium right now. And then I've got 2 other plays to round out the NFL card. And the best deal of all is to get on board for the 2-for-1 handicapper special. Team me up with Jovan, who's having another great year in the NFL. And you can join us, all the way through Thanksgiving or all the way through the Super Bowl and take advantage of the 2-for-1 handicapper special.
Absolutely. Just a lot of good value out there today. It's a small card, so, tread lightly. And I think Al usually is a good guy to help you through these NFL cards. It's like when he really loves it, he does. It's like it seems like you don't have like a set amount of picks. It's just whatever fits your formula. These are my picks, right? And it's kind of that's like me. I'm the same way. It's like
there are handicappers. I mean, we all know which handicappers there are. There are some handicappers who will release literally every day on Sunday 3 plays.
Yep.
Whether they like 3 or don't like 3, it's exactly 3. And I just think that's garbage handicapping. I think you have to have a methodology. And you have to, when it meets your criteria, you give it out. When it doesn't meet your criteria, whatever that may be, you don't give it out. And that might be you have 16 plays on one day and 2 plays on another day. And it's not I have 3 plays every day kind of mentality. I'll get off my soapbox.
No, because I personally don't understand it myself, how, a capper can have 3 plays on a, 12-game NFL card, but also have 3 plays on a 120-game college basketball Saturday. It doesn't.
What you can't have is exactly 3 plays every day.
I don't know. I just think if you give me 120 games and you give me sides, I could play halves. I could play whatever I want. It's basically 500 different bets I can make. I'm sure I could find more than 3 if I really apply myself.
Yeah, I mean, the more games you have, the more opportunity there is to find value, no doubt.
All right. Well, that was Big Al. We're going to have him again next week, as always. And, of course, you can always get his picks at PickDawgz. He's also on the drive-through show a few days during the week, so be sure to tune in then, 6 p.m. weekdays right here on our
Talk to you guys. Talk to you next week. Good luck, Joe. Good luck, Mitch.
Thank you.
Best of luck, Al.
Best of luck.
Thanks.
All right. Well, that was Big Al. As once again, a lot of wisdom there, not just about the specific games that he went over and the angles, but just really about betting on sports, which is really what we're all here for, right? And that's what we do. We certainly don't apologize for it. I know.
Absolutely. And he's killing it though, you guys. Head on over to PickDawgz.com for his best premium picks.
He's been killing it for a long time. And, that's that's the true test. I always say, you know, people can get hot for a day or for a week or even a month or even a year, but to do it over a year after year after year, not easy to do. We no matter if you're, you know, if you're Al or if you're like some Twitter handicapper, we all have days where you just want to put your head in the sand, you know, and you got to come back, stick with what you know, and come back tomorrow. And, you know, the ball can take funny bounces on you. But,
absolutely.
Speaking about funny bounces, we're going to bring Chris Ruffolo in next. And Chris, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you for having me. Funny bounces. I was trying to think of some witty remark for that, but I couldn't. I got nothing.
So the Jags, it looked like they ran the ball down to the goal line here, but it also looks like there was a fumble at the 1 foot line, and it looks like it's Miami ball. It'll be interesting to see if they give it to the Dolphins here or not. It looks like they're not, and it's the Jags who have marched down the field with the second half kickoff, but I gotta say that looked like a fumble to me. It'll be interesting to see if he recovered it. Ball's definitely out. I guess he recovered it. Anyways, Chris, how are things going?
Good. I had a great college football Saturday. Helped with the frustration of unloading all the boxes that we're still working through. But I'm ready for NFL Sunday. It's going to be a good day today.
This could be one of the longest moves in the history of moving. I had the over on the unpacking, and I think I'm looking real good on it.
Yeah. What was the over under out again? A month and a half?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm still going for the under though. Just give me a few more days.
Well, it's week 7 of NFL. What have you got for us today?
Well, I got 2 plays for you guys today. The first one. I don't know about you guys, but I don't know why the Bengals are getting the Rodney Dangerfield treatment where they're not getting any respect. And if you don't get the reference, Google it. I promise you won't regret it. But back to the point, Joe Burrow made some big mistakes in that loss to Green Bay, pair of costly interceptions, and the throat issue post-game was a concern. But I don't see him on the injury report, so that's good news for the Bengals, who are going against a Lions defense. It's been horrendous against the pass this season. They're allowing a league-high 9.3 yards per attempt. 13.7 yards per completion. And, Cincinnati's offensive line is as good as it's been in quite a while. And when you have Joe Burrow throwing to guys like Jamar Chase, Tyler Boyd, T. Higgins, it could be a very long day for this Lions team that hasn't been doing much of anything right this season. As for the offense, well, 2 words, Jared Goff. And long story short, 17 points or less in 4 straight games is not going to cut it against the Cincinnati team. I see the Bengals winning this one by at least a touchdown.
Joe?
Yeah, if I could drop my mic here, I would say Jared Goff, drop the mic. No, Jared Goff is terrible. He's worse than Wentz for me. So, Cincy, minus the points all day long in this one. There's nothing left to say.
Yeah, there was actually someone in the YouTube comments that really did not like my Dan Campbell coaching commentary and actually came back and really believes that Dan Campbell's a legitimate NFL head coach when every number, every record, and they almost beat the Bears. Yeah, they had 3 drives that died inside the 5-yard line. Well, they almost beat the Vikings. Yeah, but they got beat at the end of the game. That's where the coaching comes in. There's a lot of parts of sports where the coach really doesn't do anything, but when it comes time, those crunch time, I think in basketball, right, the coach really doesn't start coaching until like the last 2 minutes of the game, it seems like, and that's when they kind of get it done. But, I think it's not even just Goff. It's the Goff-Campbell combo. The issue with the Bengals, and the reason why they don't get any love, is that statistically they're horrible. I mean, that's really what it comes down to, is that when you have the 25th ranked offense in the NFL, 23rd in passing yards, 22nd in rushing, that's part of the issue. You're also 21st in giveaways. So it's like these are all liabilities on the Bengals side. And then defensively, well, they're good in points against, and that really is the thing that keeps them in it. They're 10th against the run, in the middle of the road, 16th dead middle against the pass. So that's why they don't get any love, is because of those numbers that they have. So they're solidly mediocre. But, the Lions have a way of making everybody else look better.
It's the Lions.
Well, for my other one, we've made it 4 straight weeks with a money line dog on the Sunday show, so I'm going to try to make it 5 in a big way. Now, I've said before I'm not high on Davis Mills as quarterback of the Texans, but realistically, he had his best start in his career against the Patriots last week, and it's not a shock considering he was going to get better over time and more comfortable. And it also doesn't help that to start his career, Mills was thrown to the Wolves against the Browns, a game which the Texans did cover, mind you. And also he had a short week for his first NFL start. And then the 40-0 shutout to the Bills. Well, a lot of teams are going to lose to the Bills comfortably this season. And, the Colts, they've played stiff competition for sure. The Seahawks and Rams in back-to-back weeks to start the year. They lost to a desperate Tennessee team in week 3 before beating the Dolphins in week 4 and for their lone win of the year. And then the cherry on top, that 22-3 lead that was blown in last week's loss to the Ravens. Bottom line is this is a lot of plus money to leave on the line with a Colts team that's on a short week with, I'll say it, Joe's favorite quarterback, Carson Wentz, who has had a history of dealing with ankle issues. And in his career, he's been turnover prone. And, adding the fact this is a division rivalry game and a loss could mean doom for both of these teams at 1-5. I think the Texans is a live dog at plus 375, and I'm taking it on the money line.
Joe, what do you think?
Okay, if the Colts lose this one outright, then Wentz definitely is a worse quarterback than Goff, but I don't know. There's no way I'm taking the Texans on the money line in this one. I hate this game. The more we talk about it, the more I hate it. Just hate it. I think it's going to be an awful game. You're right, Mitch. Wentz sucks. Texans suck. I'm not watching. I don't want to watch this. I will watch it. I don't want to watch it.
I'll take the Texans on the money line as well. I'm with you, Chris. I just think betting against Carson Wentz is really one of my favorite things to do. I also think that the lack of love in the comments about the Texans just makes me like them even more here. So I'm gonna take the Texans. And I think, like Al said, laying double digits with a bad team is never a good idea. Never ever. Well, what do you got for sale today at PickDawgz?
Well, today I got my NFL Fantastic Five plays on the board that I love for today's action. Come off a nice 8-3 day yesterday, 6-2 in college football. Looking to carry that over to the NFL. So I got that for $34.95. We always talk about the long-term passes and how this is the best time to do it because all the sports are overlapping. 3 days will get you MLB, NBA, and the Monday Nighter. The 7 day will get you through to next week's college football. And the 30 day will get you into college basketball season. This is this time to go long term, whether it's just me or with someone else as part of the 2-for-1 handicapper combo. That's some of the best values, to go check it out over at PickDawgz Premium.
What is the PickDawgz package? Someone sent me an email about this. What is it? $239 a month. I mean, it sounds cheap. So, what is it?
So that's Rod and I. We're putting out the PickDawgz package. We've been known as the PickDawgz since really joining the morning show, and Rod and I decided to put our heads together, and we're putting out our best NHL plays. They're NHL exclusive to that package, so there's nothing else. It's just NHL. So if hockey betting is something you want to dip your toe into, definitely let us guide the way. We got some of our. You got 2 of the best hockey handicappers.
How many picks a day do you get? Or is it just your best consensus pick each day, or is it just one pick a day? This is the question.
Okay, sorry. On the busier days, like the higher schedule games, we try to put out a 3-pack. On the games or days where it's only 1 to 3 games, we're usually just putting out a consensus, but still some better value than buying each day individually.
For $239 a month?
Yeah.
Wow.
Right. Oh, okay. I don't know what to say about that. It's like I can't say it on the air. Anyways, thanks, Chris, for joining us. Make it a winning day. And, of course, we appreciate you coming by. You can see Ruffolo every day on the drive-thru at 6 p.m. Eastern time right here on the PickDawgz channel. Of course, he also does the NHL videos with PuckDawg Rod Zawacky. So be sure to check all of those out and smash that like button. That was Chris Ruffolo $239 a month for 3 picks a day. It's pretty good. What's that come out to? 90.
I don't know. It's really, 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 really cheap.
Yeah, it's like 15 cents. Anyways, it's Ruffolo math. Anyways, yeah. Anyways,
who do we have in next, Mitch?
Speaking of Rod
I can see your head calculating.
Speaking of Rod Zawacky,
maybe Rod can clear this up.
No, I don't think this is the time or place. To be honest with you, because I would have to get out my abacus and explain to people exactly how this works in relation to everything else we're doing, but. Of course, Rod is a regular on our morning show, and of course on our premium and on our VIP show as well. Rod, welcome.
Morning.
So Rod gave out Iowa in the premium yesterday. I didn't like it. I didn't have a premium on the other side or anything, but I just didn't like it. Or he gave out Purdue, and I didn't like it, but because I thought it was one of those plays that it was a sharp sucker play. Is what like Indiana yesterday was, right? Where the sharps were all on Indiana, so all of a sudden they're good, But it's like, but Purdue I guess they just really had Iowa's number, but and that's really just what it comes down to. It wasn't anything. It wasn't like a huge surprise. It wasn't like I liked Iowa in the game. I didn't like them enough to put a premium though. That's for sure.
I didn't think they were going to win. I didn't think Purdue was going to win it outright like they did. I figured. I just think for too many points. I figured it was a 10-point win all day, but. We'll take it. That's why I took the points.
To me, the sharp sucker play was Indiana. It's kind of like how they were all over the Cleveland Browns a few years ago. Just got slaughtered week after week. It just looked like that sort of game, and they're lucky to be. I mean, they'll argue, we were right there, we're half a point, all this other stuff, and you got slaughtered. I mean, it's like it was a physical beatdown. They were lucky to be there. They were lucky to be there. But anyways, What do you got for us today?
Well, we're gonna start with here. We're gonna surprise. I'm gonna take the Detroit Lions here to get their first win on the money line over the Bengals here. This Detroit team, they're definitely a scrappy bunch. They definitely not just packed it in, and they've been trying to win games. And you look, the Bengals actually 0-5 in the last 5 games after allowing more than 250 yards passing. You also look, the Bengals. In the last 23 road games, they're 2-20-1 straight up. So they've only won twice in the last 23 road games, have these Bengals. The underdog in this series is 4-1 in the last 5 meetings, and Detroit is a home dog. They're 4-1 in the last 5. I like Detroit here. I'm going to take them on the money line. I think they get their first win and upset these Bengals that everybody's humping up on, thinking, it's the Bengals, yeah. They're undervalued here. No, I don't think so. Detroit's undervalued here. I think that scrappy bunch gets her done today and get their first win. Give me Detroit.
Joe, sounds like a hat bet.
Yeah. I wanna see the Bengals smoke golf all day. You look at Detroit; they're 0-5 against the spread in their last 5 home games against the Bengals. There is no way I'm taking Jared Goff and the Lions to do anything today. I really hope Goff has a terrible, terrible day. Because he's a terrible quarterback.
Bengals also can get after the quarterback too, and I don't see Goff. I mean, under pressure, he's even worse.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, I don't see.
He's going to throw it right to the Bengals defense. Yeah, he's going to get picked off left, right, and center today.
Watch Swift run.
Rod hated that Swift draft choice. He hated that.
So today I hated him, so today I'm gonna like it. You watch Swift go.
Rod
he's gonna swiftly run right on by. Here we go.
Hated Swift.
Is Swift still running?
The Cincy defense is gonna cream him.
That's what they want. Nah, I'm gonna take Detroit here.
Good luck.
But you're really going to hate the next one because the next one I'm going to take is I'm going to take the Giants plus the points as well. I think that's way too many points against this Rams team. You look at the Rams in their last 10 meetings versus the Giants. They're 1-9 ATS.
Because they had Goff. Because they had Goff.
Exactly.
I mean, come on. It's like because they had the guy you're betting on in the other game. It's apples to oranges. It's like, you know.
Giants are also 8-3 their last 11 versus the NFC. They're also 20-8 ATS their last 28 off of an ATS loss. I think Daniel Jones comes back and he has a good game here today. 8 points too many for the Rams on the road. I'm gonna take the Giants plus the points. Love it.
I can't.
I'm gonna double bet it since you guys don't like it.
Yeah, no. Like this Rams teams can pass the ball. They can get it downfield. They're second in the league at passing yards. They average 28.2 points per game against a beat-up Giants team that are missing players inside and out. Like, no way. No way. Rams all day long.
Yeah, definitely. You're seeing a lot of money come here on the Giants, the late money, and this is like New York money, and I mean this is sucker money. The Giants' defense is just a sieve. I mean, it's not even all those offensive guys, Daniel Jones or any of that stuff. The Giants' defense is a sieve of sieves, and it's the same guys that played last week against Dallas, who really I don't think have as good offense as the Rams. I think the Rams have that safety net, that Cooper Kupp, and you know he has not been all that healthy as seasons go on, you know, year after year, but he is healthy right now, and he is that safety net, and I could see him just frustrating the Giants all day. We saw the Cowboys just roll it up on this Giants D last week in Dallas, and well, I mean, you know, like as Mara said, the owner of the Giants. If I was a fan, I would boo too. And I think that's what you're going to be doing, Rod. You're going to be throwing some things at the TV in this one. 26th in points allowed, the Giants are this year. 28th against the run. 22nd against the pass. And 29th in the NFL in yards allowed. Defense. I don't think so. I don't see it. But that's just me. Anyways. What do you got for sale today at PickDawgz?
And for me, over at PickDawgz, I've got my NFL Big Sunday ticket. We have a nice back-to-back winning days, one Friday, one Saturday. And today I got my 10-star total of the week, my 10-star NFL No Limit Game of the Month, included in that Big Sunday NFL ticket package. Grab my 5 best bets. Jump aboard. We're going to have another winning day over at PickDawgz Premium. Or, like you guys were talking about earlier, jump aboard the PickDawgz. We've been rolling right along. We started off with a little bump in the road, but we've been winning another winning day over there. We're rolling right along. Maybe the price point isn't what Mitch wants to that. You can tell by the look on his face in the last segment where it was like, what? So quick, jump on that now before that changes.
Okay. Anyways. Thanks, Rod, for joining us. Of course, you can see Rod every day on our morning show. You can see him on our premium and VIP shows, as well as on the hockey videos with Chris Ruffolo and the PickDawgz. Anyways, Joe, winding down the show. Just one more guest left. Everyone knows who that is. It's Mr. Happy himself. I wore my Brian Bitler T-shirt today.
Ding, 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 ding. About to go off soon.
Exudes happiness, but...
I'll tell you what.
I thought it was a Nirvana shirt at first.
I'm always happy when the Jags are about to get their first W of the season. So it's shaping up to be a good day, and we're about to argue about the same game we've given out a couple times. But I really love it.
Oh man, are you loving Jared Goff today?
I gotta admit, Rod really had Rod and Big Al today. Both gave out a supremely great free pick. So. I hate to be a copycat, Giants. But that happens.
Well, it's like
I'll tell you what,
I think
the Giants.
I think going forward, what we'll do is we'll have to assign games because
exactly. I think that's
schedule.
The way to
Everyone's
go.
doing the same games.
Well, I didn't know beforehand that those guys were giving.
I understand.
But anyway, for me, for my play, and I think it could easily be a premium play. I got the Giants here plus the points. They're down there starting running back Saquon Barkley, but that loss. Really can be dealt with pretty easily. Daniel Jones would have made a big difference today. Lots of public love here for the Rams. here on the road. Rams, second back-to-back spots, playing here at 1 p.m. Giants are a team that always seems to play around that number. Rams have played down to lesser competition, going 0-4 against the spread versus a team with a losing record. Let's not forget the Giants, 20-8 against the spread, last 28 games following an ATS loss. Rams just 1-9 ATS, last 10 meetings against the New York Giants. Take the Giants plus the points for an easy cover today.
Okay, so let's look at a different angle at this game. I'm going to look at the under. I believe in the Rams scoring points today. I don't believe in the Giants scoring points today. So I'm willing to hit that under in this one as well.
What else do you have for us, Brian?
I'll tell you what. Well, I also like the Colts laying the points. So we discussed these games at nauseam. But
all right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what do you got for sale today, Brian?
I don't want to be repetitive.
No, what do you got for sale? Thanks.
NFL Pound Zone 3-pack. You get 3 NFL winners for $40 at PickDawgz.com. 23, 16, and 1 last 40 NFL plays. So check out that premium pick package or the VIP plan. Subscribe to that. I'm going to give out one of them on there. Hopefully make up for yesterday's bad performance.
All right. Thanks for joining us, Brian. Of course, you can see Brian every day on our live shows and on our premium packages. Well, Joe, that wraps up another show for us. We've got the premium VIP show to go. Of course, we'll be on at halftime for the early games as well as the late games and Sunday Night Football.
Absolutely. It's going to be a fun day of Mitch and I here live halftime betting you guys. So make sure you join us.
Absolutely. Have a great day, everyone. We appreciate each and every one of you. And let's make it a winner.